Hi, thanks for watching this video. It's just a quick intro and talk through of what you need to do and how to use the podcast mixer if you're recording a podcast here at FD Studio. We are in space 2, so our smaller space. There's also space 1, our larger space, and you're welcome to record a podcast in either space depending on what you're after. But let's get into the podcast mixer itself and talk you through what you need to do. So the first thing to do is, before you get here, buy just a standard SD card. Because you're only recording audio, even though it's high quality audio, you don't need to worry about getting the biggest SD card. Really, we've found anything 8 gigabytes and upwards is plenty of recording time and recording space. You might want to go for a 16 gig or 32 gig just to be safe. When you get here, we'll have either myself or another team member who's here to greet you and help you. But this video introduction just gives you a quick general sort of information about what to look out for and what you would need to do once you get here to record the podcast yourself. So the podcast recorder we have is the Zoom PodTrack P8, if you want to do some research about it. It does support up to 6 microphones in person and, of course, headsets, so you can hear yourself and hear everything that's being recorded. When you get here, at the back of the mixer is a spot for your SD card. You would just plug that in, close the door, and flick the on-off switch that is also at the back of the mixer. Give it a moment and it will just flick right on. There's a screen here that you can use that I'll talk about a little bit further, but it'll be pretty obvious that you've booted up and the mix is ready to go when you can see the voice bars moving up and down. In this instance, I'm just going to show you, I'm talking into mic number 6, so you can see exactly that mic number 6 is working. When you click the SD option as well, it will show you how much space you have free on your SD card, and it'll also allow you to format your SD card, which you'd want to do if it's your first time using it, or if the SD card doesn't show properly the first time when you plug it in. To get started, it's pretty simple. Like I said, we'll have, if we know how many mics you're going to be using, we'll have that relevant number of microphones and headsets set up and ready to go for you, just so you get started nice and easy. When you get here, you get your guests, you sit down, you can then start playing around with the sliders that control, again, I'm controlling mic number 6 and mic number 5. I'm just going to mute mic number 5, which is again, very easy to do. And then the sliders up and down allow you to control how much volume is let through from the microphones themselves. There's also corresponding knobs or dials that you can use that allows you to control how much volume is coming through on the headphones. It's important to get that balance right so that people can hear each other through the headset and don't talk over each other. Apart from that, the only thing really worth mentioning is this option where if you click on the microphone itself, you can play around with some tone, compression, and microphone volume controls. These are all independent of your sliders as well. So you would essentially set the sliders on the display first before you start playing around with the hardware slider. When it comes to actually recording the audio, just hit the big red hardware record button when you're ready to go. You will notice that the timer starts on the screen as well. So that's a great way to know that you are recording. And when you hit that again, that will stop recording. And again, you'll see the display change from the recording timer showing you how long you've been recording for to a timer showing you how much recording time you have left. So like I said before, if you click there, we've got 6 gigabytes free, and that 6 gigabytes can record 5 hours, 40 minutes of audio. So you really don't need a massive SD card. Apart from that, there's a whole other bunch of controls. Most people won't need to use it. If you have any special requests, please reach out to us. The podcast mixer does come with a soundboard as well. Again, it's not something that most people need to use because you would just edit the audio and do it in post. One other thing to look out for when you're actually recording the podcast is just be mindful that the table surface can send audio through the microphone stand and into the microphone. So when you're having a conversation, just put the headset on, and you will hear this, but resist sort of tapping on the microphone stand at all or the desk. You want to get as clear audio as possible, and these are just some little tips on how you do that. Another tip is that the closer you get, the better, the deeper, the more bass will come through in that sort of audio that's recorded, and the further away, the less bass is recorded. Once you finish recording, you would just turn the device off and then go back to the recording bay, SD card bay, and remove your SD card and take it with you. What you will also find is that when you're taking a look at the audio files that you have recorded, the mixer will record numerous different styles and types of files, including a mix, as well as individually recording each person. That will help you with editing the podcast and video, whatever else you're shooting through the mixer, and that will just be organized by files. Again, that's something that you can look up through Zoom and find out about the PodTrack P8. It's something that they'll cover in the instruction manual and really just help you with editing the audio better as far as the file sizes and the file types are concerned. That really is everything that there is to say. Thanks for watching, and I hope you book at FD Studio soon.